I got another request. Weather. How many know of you? How many of you know about weather? Hey, I want to be a meteorologist. So, somebody brought up snow in March. Okay. Yes. Little off. Snow in March is, what do I say, off because in March is supposed to be spring. Spring isn't happening yet because it's still 19 degrees outside. Hasn't hit 70 yet at all. Spring weather, by the way, 60s, 70s. And it could still snow at any time. By March, the Earth should be pretty getting close back to the sun, and it's summer solstice area, because this is the sun, this is the Earth. Our orbit's like this in a way, and so we should be like right here in a concept. Again, sun, Earth. But I don't know, because it should be warmer, should be warming up the more we get towards the sun. Thus, the weather should react differently because of the warmth that's increasing. Just getting subjects as I go about weather. See, I could talk about weather more if it was like summer, because I'm more prone to knowing about tornadoes and hurricanes. But snow and this cold crap, I know probably one thing about the winter. Really big subject, the Antarctic Clipper. So what you want to do is you want to think about Canada. And then go up north, west, basically. And there's this weather system that occurs from November to February up there. Okay? It's called the Antarctic Clipper because it comes from Antarctica or the North Pole. Yeah, I'm not sure about that name now. It's the North Pole, Antarctic's down here. So weather system occurs, it's coming down, passes through Canada, it gets stronger through Canada, because the more a weather system moves through temperature and climates that it's used to, the stronger it gets. For instance, a hurricane. When a low pressure system keeps going through moist climate and really humid, hot climate over water, it'll strengthen and eventually could develop into a hurricane. Of course, it would have to be tropical depression first, then a tropical storm, and then a hurricane. Tropical depression is just a low pressure system moving on its own, of course, towards the U.S. then it'll develop. So basically, the Antarctic Clippers basically the same thing because it's moving through climate it's used to. Cold, dry. I think dry is the right term for it, and not wet. But as it moves, it gets stronger, and then basically it hits the northern part of the U.S., mostly the Dakotas, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, and then it'll keep going. It'll really get strong when it hits the northeast coast. Wisconsin and Minnesota, Michigan, even Illinois can get a really hard hit from it. But you really don't hear anything until it gets to New York, or those states, the colony states. Yeah, you don't really hear anything until it gets there. I mean, say if you live in Wisconsin, as do I, it'll be here, snowing insanely, foot, 2 feet overnight, even during the day. There's been a blizzard once when I lived in Lake Mills, like 6 years ago. But that's the worst I've ever known since I've been here. But yeah, that's over now. Now it's just freakishly snowing every weekend, or but they say longer winters equals heavier but shorter summers, and longer summers is a heavier, shorter winter. I think that's what it is. We're just gonna get a really short summer. It's not that bad. I mean, heck, I'm not in school. There is no need for summer for me. Summer doesn't exist now. So my cousin told me. When you get into work, in the workforce, and you graduate, summer doesn't exist anymore. Of course, the season and the weather is still there, but summer, like getting off, is not there anymore. I think this summer's gonna be short. That's all. Nothing freakish about having snow in March. Maybe the freakish thing this year was snowing in Texas. Yeah, it doesn't snow like that in Texas. So, I don't know. Really weird subject. But I'm gonna have to conclude that. Tell me what you think about this weather in the U.S. And I'll talk to you later. This is Fox Tashitaka, Ariel.